Last week in Finland, Samsung launched the Galaxy XCover Pro. Now this smartphone is categorized as rugged, and when I think about rugged, I think about a phone that you use in a construction site, or if you're hiking and climbing a mountain, wrestling an alligator, fighting with your in-laws. But what Samsung did differently here is the phone comes with a removable battery. Do you even remember or owned a phone that had a removable battery? When I had my Galaxy Nexus back in the day and my battery was running low, I actually never charged the phone. And what I did was I just swapped the battery out. You know, I put a fresh one in, and then I'd take the low battery or the dead battery and I'd put that on a battery charger, and then that was it. What I liked about that is I was never tethered to a cable at all. And that was back in 2011, 2012. But really the biggest advantage of having a removable battery is when that battery is actually starting to die, you know, it's starting to wear out, it's not holding its charge as long as it used to, then you could just go buy a new battery, swap it out, and then your phone's kind of like brand new again. But obviously we can't do that anymore. 99.9% of our smartphones are glued and sealed together, and instead they just become throwaway phones. Which is a shame, because I think a lot of us would hold on to our smartphones longer if we could replace the battery ourselves. And a lot of that has to do with manufacturers wanting you to replace your phone, buy a new phone from that company again. I think there used to be an argument, don't quote me on that though, but I think there used to be an argument that using a removable battery would make it a lot more susceptible to water, or just, you know, not surviving well enough in the elements. But this Galaxy XCover Pro is IP68 dust and water resistant. So if that was an argument back then, it no longer is. The Verge's article also said that it would survive about a 5-foot drop, and that the touchscreen works when it's wet or even if you have gloves on. It also has a barcode scanner and 2 programmable buttons, which is pretty nice, but when I think about those other features, it makes me think that it's more of a work phone, right? It's something that you'd use at a construction site, or maybe something that you'd use in a warehouse. And it uses mid-range performance specs. It has an Exynos 9611 chipset, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of internal storage, and it comes in at around $550 US. I don't think it's available for the US though. It looks like it only comes to certain parts of Europe. It might come out for the US, but there's no official word on that yet. But does this mean that removable batteries are gonna become a thing again? Probably not. You know, I would love to see it become a thing, because the one thing that frustrates me the most is when I know my battery on my phone is starting to go and there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, technically, if I wanted to open the phone up and replace it, I could, but for a lot of us, especially when it's sealed the way it is, it's just more of a hassle, and it's just better to buy a new phone.